on your
Wait,
floor.
sit up.
Oh, girl.
You...
Man, I'm lazy.
You have to sit up. We're filming a video. Hi. My name is Trin. I have a guest.
Hi. I'm Kyla. I'm Trin's friend.
Yeah, so like I've known Kyla for many years.
13 years?
Probably. Like at least a decade.
It's been a while.
Yeah, because like our moms are friends with each other.
Yeah, we used to be neighbors until I moved, so we hung out a lot.
That's true, yeah. And like the thing that bonded us the most is that we read.
I know, I didn't get into reading until Trin actually. Like I saw your pretty bookshelves and I was like, I want pretty bookshelves. And I don't know. And then after that, like now like I've got bookshelves too, so.
I find it funny because Shannon, her older sister, reads a lot as well.
No, not anymore. We switched,
really?
so
Wow.
now I read all the time, guys.
Okay, so today we're going to do the mid-year book freakout tag. So the creators are Jamie and Earl Grey Books. So I'll have the links to their channels down in the description box below. But also, Kyla has a old,
very old
YouTube channel.
Basically unused.
But I think the last video was like nine months ago.
Oh, it's been at least a year.
Like you're just like, okay, I'm done. I have retired. But look,
yeah, I'm retired, guys.
but she has come back for this video for me. So
special appearance, one time only. Yeah.
So thank you for taking the time.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Watch this to be in here. Oh my god, I'm dumb. Anyway, so yeah, there are 15 questions, and these questions are like about books. Obviously, it's just like a nice mid-year checkup on like the books that we have read for the first like 6 months of the year. And I think this video will be up in August, so it's gonna be a little bit late. I hope you guys are fine with that.
Who's gonna fight you on it?
Okay, anyway, we have 15 questions. Kyla will be the one reading the questions, and we will answer the questions, obviously. So there are 2 answers for each question. Yeah, okay, so I'm gonna be doing makeup.
Yeah. And I'll be moderating. Question number 1, starting off pretty easy. What's the best book you've read so far this year?
I think I have 2 answers. You wanna go first or me?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm like looking through my Goodreads because otherwise I'd never remember.
Yeah, so I'll have
follow
like...
me on Goodreads, guys.
I was gonna say I have the pictures of the books probably like in the middle, somewhere in this video.
Just tell me where to move my head. The best book I read, actually I got from you, was Fountains of Silence by Ruta Sepetys.
Really?
I finally read it and I love Ruta Sepetys. Like her historical fiction books are like my favorite, and it was sitting on my shelf since like you gave it to me a year ago. Yeah. And I finally picked it up now that I'm home for the summer, and I like flew through it in like 2 days. It was so good. It's about like the Spanish like Civil War revolution when they were under like the fascist dictator, and she just does such a good job with like different storylines and bring them together, and that's like my favorite thing about books. So that was the best book I read this year.
That's nice.
Thanks, Mom. You sound so supportive. Like that's nice.
Okay, so I think for my answer, I have 2 answers. Okay. But I think I'm gonna go with the book that I think everyone needs to read. Is Know My Name by Chanel Miller. I finished that book like literally last week, I think. So it's a very recent read. Okay. Do you know Brock Turner? Trigger warning for rape. He's the guy who raped a girl behind a dumpster in Stanford. Like it happened a couple of years ago. This whole case is publicized. I remember I was in high school when I learned about it. This happened in like 2015. Like literally like going to trial, this whole thing, like it was very, very public. The survivor, her name is Chanel Miller. She has come out with a book talking about the entire thing. It's a fantastic memoir. I listened to the audiobook, but I also like read it physically a little bit. It's really good. It's fucking sad.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's really, really sad. Like the one thing, okay, so real quick, her identity has been anonymous for a long time. It's like no one knows who she is. Like no one knows what she looks like. Online, she's known as Emily Doe. When the book came out, she literally said, this is me, this is what I look like, this is my name, Chanel Miller. She's Asian American, she's biracial. Really? Yeah, Asian and white, yeah. It kind of hit you differently knowing that she's a woman of color and she's going through this bullshit. When you look at the picture of her, you're like, wow, we look alike. Yeah, fantastic book.
Alright.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know who Brock Turner is.
I mean, if you heard about it in high school, I was like in middle school at the time, I think. Oh, so that's probably why I was like a little bit more out of the loop.
Yeah, I get it.
Number 2 is the best sequel you've read so far. You want to go first this time, or do you want to think about it? Oh yeah, I can answer. So I was telling Trin, like I'm really into like V.E. Schwab. All of a sudden, like I've never read any of her books, and then this year I've read like 5. So I got really into her this year. Yeah. And I think the best sequel I read was A Gathering of Shadows, like the second one in like the Shades of Magic series. Yeah, it was just such a good follow-up, and especially like it felt like, I don't know if anyone's read the second, I don't want to spoil anything, but it feels like the Olympics to me. If you've read the second book, I guess it'll kind of make sense. Like it's around like Olympics time, so it was just a fun read, and I think the follow-up was really good. I think her writing is really good. I just fly through her books, which is weird for me with fantasies. I usually take like forever in a day to read a fantasy, but her books and her writing like make it really easy, and I love the characters in it, so that's my answer for this one.
I guess I can go with Chain of Iron by Cassandra Clare. It feels like a lifetime ago, but it just came out like in March of this year. It's the sequel to The Last Hours trilogy. It's the second book. So the first book is Chain of Gold, second book is Chain of Iron. And I read it a month early. What a flex. Yeah, I got an arc and it was like really.
That's why it was so long ago. You read it like back in February.
Yeah, it's been 5 months. Wow. But yeah, I read it quite a while ago and I really enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie, out of the entire series, I prefer the first book over the second book. But Chain of Iron is still like entertaining, and if you love the characters, I think you will really enjoy the second book because it's really focused on the characters. I guess like the bad thing is that there aren't a lot of action scenes, which is like a thing that I had a gripe with. I just wish there's more action scenes and more fighting scenes, but we focus on the characters quite a lot, and honestly, I like them. So actually, I really like adore all of the characters. So at the end of the day, I had fun reading the book, so.
That's cool. I like character-driven books anyway, so that sounds pretty good. Number 3 is new release you haven't read yet, but you want to.
Yeah, I have my answer. What about you?
My answer's on your bookshelf, actually. Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I was so excited for that. I love all her books. Like, I know all of us love all her books, but like, so I was really excited when I saw that she was coming out with a new one.
Yeah, that's true.
So that was my answer.
Malibu Rising. I think mine is Ace of Spades by Farida Ake Yumide. I'm so sorry.
Hello, it's me, editing Trin. So I just want to come in here and say that the author of Ace of Spades is Farida Abike Yimide. As you can see in the video, I was low-key struggling saying the author's name. So I do want to come in here and say it properly, and yeah, that's it. Bye.
Next one, number 4. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I don't have an answer.
I don't have an answer.
I don't keep up with it. I take it as it comes, man.
That's funny. I feel like a couple of months ago, I was pretty good at like keeping up with like book releases. I'm sure there are some books that I'm like, oh, it's coming out later this year. I cannot wait to read it. But it's not like a book that I'm thinking about and I'm like yearning for that. Like, I need to read it now. Like, I'm not reading a lot. There's that too. Like, I'm not reading a lot, so like I'm not really keeping up with the books that are coming out for the last 6 months of the year.
Yeah, you're trying to keep up with the books you have.
Yep, you know it.
Number 5 is the biggest disappointment you've read so far.
Ooh.
Give me a second. I know I have an answer.
I have my answer.
Oh, you go first, girl.
Saints and Misfits by S.K. Alley.
You gave it away. Yeah, you're giving it away.
It's over there. It's gonna be donated, to be honest. I read it in May. Very disappointed in that book, just because I really don't like the way sexual assault is being portrayed in that book. Okay, real quick, today I was taking out the annotations, and literally my very last annotation, I literally said the last 100 pages were a dumpster fire. Like, that's how much I don't like that book. Literally, I had so many issues, like I said, sexual assault being portrayed, because there's this character who kind of pressure and manipulate the main character to speak up publicly about her sexual assault. I don't know about you, that is a lot to ask.
It is
of a person. Yeah, I think that's very selfish of that character to do, because number one, the guy who's a predator, he's very well respected in the community. So again, you're asking a lot for one person to do something like that, because you're asking them to be crucified. Because like, here's the thing, there are people who won't believe victims, unfortunately. Like, that's like the world we live in. So like, again, you're asking a lot. So I had huge issues with that, and then yeah, the ending just pissed me off. And then also overall, I cannot think of one good thing about this book. Like, there isn't one thing that I actually really like.
My answer for my biggest disappointment was The Secret History by Donna Tartt.
Really?
Yeah, you actually gave me that one too. I read it and I felt like such an intellectual, you know. I was reading it, it was like, you know, old like New England private school, old money kind of, you know, vibes, and it was, you know, I felt like I was like, shoot man, look at me reading this like 600-page book, and the last 300 pages were like irrelevant. Like, it was such a waste of my time. You know the ending on page number 2, so you're kind of like leading up to the ending, and if it's done well, great, but it wasn't. And then again, the last like 3, like you reach like the climax at like halfway through the book, and then it's just such a letdown for the last part, and it took me forever to get through. It's 600 pages, okay? I don't read that fast. I'm a very slow reader. I'm just a very like slow and steady kind of reader. So I was like sitting there chugging through this book, and then I just got so bored, but I was like, I have to commit. Like, I've got 200 pages left, and like 200 pages is a lot of pages. Like, that's a whole other book, dude. So yeah, it was kind of a bummer because I really want to like it, and like her writing itself is like, it's good. Like, I did like her writing. I can appreciate her stylistic elements and the fact that it's, you know, it made me feel smart reading it. It felt like a modern classic, but it didn't read like a modern classic. It read like a normal book, so it made it easier to get through. But at the end of the day, like, there's only so much there's only so much you can read when you're like not having a good time. So that's probably my biggest letdown.
What's the ending?
I don't want to spoil it. Oh.
They won't.
Oh, and then I can see it. So like in the end, number 6 is your biggest surprise. What book surprised you the most this year?
Rebel by Marie Lu.
Oh, interesting.
Which is the very last book of the Legend series. I read the series like years later because you know how like in the early 2010s dystopian books were like super popular. Mm-hmm. Well, I finally read one of the most popular dystopian series in 2020. Like literally years later I finally read it, and then I read the last book, which came out like years after the trilogy. You know, it's one of those things where it's like it's a trilogy, but then like years later the author decides to write a 4th book. Mm-hmm.
That usually doesn't go well, so
I read the 4th book, and I really I enjoy it.
That's cool.
I know that some people don't like it, but I really liked it just because like I see it happening in the real world.
Okay.
So like that's why I like it, and also the camera's about to die, so fuck.
But that's cool though. Like I feel like every time an author goes back to like add on to the series, like, oh, it's not over yet, like everyone gets excited, and it's such a letdown because everyone's like, you know, expectations are through the roof, and then you get the book and it's like, well, thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks for ruining the OG series.
I know, right? It kind of like just taints what you already had, so
yeah,
that's cool though. I'm glad you liked it. My biggest surprise was Evidence of the Affair by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's not like an actual book, it's like a short story.
Yeah.
But it was so good, and like it was written like in letter correspondence between two people who like they think their spouses are cheating on them. So they start sending letters back and forth like, did you find this? Did you see this? Have you seen anything fishy? Like, have you heard? And it's just, I got to like know and grow with these characters in a really short amount of time, because again, it was a short story. So you get to fall in love with these characters a lot faster than you think you would, and it's through like letter dialogue. It's not even like a traditional storytelling format. Yeah. So I just thought both elements like put together, she did it really well, and it was a quick read. I read it in like 2 hours, and it was a good time. Favorite new author, debut or new to you?
Do I have any?
So, is there an author you read for the first time this year? My answer is V.E. Schwab. She's new to me. Like, I know like she's been really big for everyone else for like years now, and I'm like super late to the train. But I love her, and I can see why everyone else does too. So that's pretty dope. That's my answer.
I think mine is Jennifer Yen. She's not new, but like this year's my first time reading a book from her, and I like really enjoy it.
What's she written?
I read A Taste for Love, and I like really had so much fun reading that book. I could be wrong, but I think she's coming out with a book that is in the same universe as A Taste for Love. Like, it's basically about different characters, but they're related to the main characters.
Oh, okay.
The book that I read this year.
Gotcha.
So I definitely want to read it.
Dope.
Yeah, because I saw the announcement, I was like, I would love to read it because I really enjoy A Taste for Love by Jennifer Yen. Yeah.
Number 8 is newest fictional crush.
None. So. I don't have none. I don't have fictional crushes.
I'm trying to think, man.
I have a boyfriend. There's no need to have another crush.
Aw, look at you. I'm sure I have one. I have a boyfriend too, but I'm still trying to find a fictional crush. Hold on, give me a second. Nah, I don't think I have any crushes. I'll be honest, like I read Percy Jackson for the first time this year. And I love Percy, but like he's 15, so that's creepy, or like 12, so like I'm not gonna say that, obviously. Like, I know y'all are already like simping over him, you have been for years, but like he's 12 years old. He's cool though. I can say I have a lot of respect for Percy Jackson, the character himself. And I told Trent earlier, I was reading the Ranger's Apprentice series for the first time ever. I'm like reading a bunch of like these like childhood favorites that I never got around to.
Yeah, I get that.
And the main character Will, I love him too. So again, both of them are underage, but both of them, I have like some mad respect for these like little teenagers. So
yeah,
I wouldn't say they're my fictional crushes, but I do like them.
Wait, real quick. Funny you say Percy Jackson, because for my August theme, my August plan with me, real quick, I have a journaling journal.
Check it out.
For the month of August, in my reading bullet journal, I'm doing a PJO theme.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, look, I'll show you.
This sticker's so oh my god.
This picture, yeah.
That picture's so dope.
Like,
oh, I love it. Yeah, I'm reading Percy Jackson for the first time, and I'm like into it. I'm only on book 3, so like I can't say I'm like.
Oh, you're gonna have so much fun.
But like, dude, it's getting good, and like I always I kept expecting it to like kind of like, you know, you read the sequel and it gets worse. It doesn't. It's like all of them are good. Yeah. Newest favorite character. This is so awkward. I kind of just answered this. So go ahead. You go.
What's your answer?
My answer's still Percy Jackson and Will. Like, I still love those two guy characters. They're just not my crushes. They're my favorite characters. Okay. You go ahead.
Funny enough, I think it's Sydney Sage from the Bloodline series. Basically, the Bloodline series is a spin-off series of Vampire Academy, and the author is Rochelle Mead. Basically, this year I'm like reading or like rereading the books with Sandy and Tiffany. Like, we're hosting a year-long read-along, and I just finished Bloodlines, the first book of the Bloodline series, and I love the main character Sydney. She's so smart, responsible, but she's a bad bitch.
We love a competent character. Number 10, a book that has made you cry.
I look crazy.
Huge.
I'm sure I do.
It's caught in a bad moment, man.
Yeah, you can go first.
I think a book that made me cry this year was The Glass Castle by Jeanette Walls.
You read that book too?
I read it in like 2 days. It was so good. Like, I don't normally read anything but fiction. I mean, I say that, but like my favorite book ever is like nonfiction. But this is like a memoir about this girl, Jeanette Walls, and her family growing up with her dad. And he had these big crazy ideas and things like that, but he, you know, could never really follow through with any of them. So I think like seeing her towards the end when like the family becomes self-sufficient of him, and him still trying to like hold on and be like the head of the family despite the fact that they don't need him anymore, and like he used to be such a big role in their life, that kind of made me cry. Like, this is one scene, I don't know if like, can I spoil things? I don't know.
No.
Probably safer not to. Okay. Well, just like watching them like become like self-sufficient individuals, and like him not playing a main role in their lives anymore.
Is it towards the ending?
Yeah, and him seeing like, you know, him trying to hold on to that, what they had, just kind of made me cry. I was like, he really does love them. He just doesn't go about it the right way all the time.
Yeah, because he would spend like the money on drinking and gambling too. If I'm, it's mostly alcohol.
Mostly alcohol.
But the way he just wastes all their money like that
made me so mad. Like, I don't blame him for like not wanting him in their life anymore. Like, he put them through so much. So that made me cry.
Yep.
What about you?
Clockwork Princess by Cassandra Clare. I reread the Infernal Devices trilogy this year, and the final book always makes me cry. Like, the epilogue fucked me up every time. I can literally just sit here and think about the epilogue and I will start crying, but I won't. I'm putting on mascara.
A book that made you happy that you read this year. I read 10 Blind Dates by Ashley Elston. It's about this girl and like her like 10 family members that are up on like 10 blind dates. It's like a YA contemporary. I love that kind of stuff, man. It's junk food, I swear. It was just such a happy story, and like watching like all this like, you know, everything like blow up in everyone's faces, but like, you know, the whole family had one really great family dynamic, which I love in YA books. Yeah. And I wish I saw more in YA books. So I had a really good family dynamic, a lot of humor, a great love interest, so props to that. And the main character wasn't annoying, so there we go. Really, overall, it was just like a fun read. I read it in like a few days, and it was just, it was one of those books you could just kind of fly through. So that book made me happy.
Oh, that's good.
What about you?
I think A Taste for Love by Jennifer Yan definitely made me happy, because I remember reading it in a 24-hour readathon. Even though I didn't finish the entire book, I read like a good chunk of it, and I just had like so much fun reading it. That's cool. And then when I finished it, I was very happy, and then I gave it 5 stars. And like, one of the things that I like about the book is that like the main character is Asian American. Even though she's Taiwanese American, I believe, and she's not Vietnamese American, I still see myself in her. Like, it's like the little things that she does, I'm just like, wait a minute, like I do that too. I don't know, it's just like she's definitely one of the like the main character, Liza, I believe. She's definitely a character that I see myself, like a lot of myself in her. I think she's really nice. It's just that she has a complicated relationship with her mom. It's weird because her mom thinks so poorly of her, but I'm like, your daughter is fine. So I don't know why you think of her like this. I don't know, it's weird. Too high. Expectations are too high. Number 12. Favorite book to film adaptation you've seen this year? I don't have an answer. I mean, like I saw The Glass Castle like years ago. Oh yeah, same. And I loved the book that I finally read this year. But that's all I got. Maybe the Twilight Saga. Literally, I was gonna say, I watched Twilight yesterday. And it was good. Okay, it wasn't good, but I had a good time. Yeah. They're on Netflix now, so like I rewatched all of the films the past few days, and I literally had so much fun rewatching them. Yeah. Favorite review you've written this year, or video you filmed? Does it have to be bookish or like just any videos? Any video. Is this like a bad way to promote my new channel? Because this is a perfect plug moment. Go for it. Okay, if you don't know, I have a I'm the worst. I have a new YouTube channel and Instagram. It's called Stationery with Trinh, where I will upload like journaling content and stationery content, all that fun stuff. And I filmed my flip through video of my life journal for like the first 6 months of this year, and I really liked the video. I had so much fun filming it. I finished editing the video in like 2 days, and usually it takes me a while to edit a video because like I don't have time anymore. So yeah, like with that video, I was so excited to like finish the entire thing and get it up as soon as possible on my new channel. So that was like something that I remember because it just happened like last week. I was in the mood. I was just like, I really want to get this thing finished, and yeah, I finished the entire thing very, very quickly. I like that video a lot. You can watch it on the new channel. You're welcome to like and subscribe.
Like, comment, subscribe. The link in the description box below.
Yeah, exactly.
Number 14 is the most beautiful book you've bought this year so far, or received.
Ooh, wait. Oh man, I have to get up. Okay, so I got this.
Oh, that's so cute.
Secondhand. It's called Nevermore: The Trials of Morgan Crow. But this one looks like it's shiny in person.
It's so pretty. Wait, what's it look like naked?
Oh, oh, naked. It's
That's dope.
When it's naked, it's like this. It's cool.
Dang, that's cool.
I also have some beautiful editions of Cassandra Clare's books, but like I kind of want to not answer a question with a Cassandra Clare book, so I'm gonna go with Nevermore because it's really, really pretty. Like this is like the one series where I want to read it just because I want to have the UK hardcovers in my collection.
I don't blame you. They look good. What the heck? They look so good.
Pretty. So yeah, this is the UK hardcovers, and I think the first book is actually out of print, if I'm correct. I don't know, but I got this secondhand.
Where'd you find it?
8books.com. I found this for $13. I'm very good at finding like good
cheap books.
Basically.
Prettiest book I've gotten. I literally, Trinh just gave me her copy of Addie LaRue. Oh, did it get bright again?
But yeah, Addie LaRue.
Yeah, so the prettiest book I've gotten this year is Addie LaRue. Trinh just gave it to me. Thank you. I just like the gold font. It just looks pretty on the cover. So I honestly I haven't bought that many books this year either. Good self-control on my part. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's my answer.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just like the regular US hardcover.
Yeah, it's literally like probably the most boring edition that's gonna come out. Like they're probably gonna have like pretty like 10-year anniversary editions, and I'm gonna be sitting there with my
the regular US hardcover.
Yeah, but I like it.
You got for $5.
I got $5.
I gave it to her for.
A book just feels better when you buy it like slightly cheaper.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Support authors, but like used books. We all like them, come on. Number 15 and the final question. Okay, what books do you need to read by the end of the year?
My entire TBR.
That's what I'm saying. Like there's like 160 books on my shelves I haven't read.
Really?
Yeah, it's actually getting kind of bad.
I think for me, the one book that I want to read like as soon as possible is this one. I actually have it right here, Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Just a couple weeks ago, I was in a big romance mood, but basically my friends Mika and Chloe, they rave about this book and I decided to get it, so here it is. I really hope I can read this in August. That's like the goal. That's why I bought this, so I can just read it immediately. I'm in a mood for a good, I was gonna say juicy, but that's disgusting, a good romance book. Good
sexy romance book, dude. My answer for I just want to finish the Percy Jackson series and the Ranger Apprentice series. I'm really bad at reading series. Like I never finish series, like ever. So like if I could get through Percy Jackson, just like the original ones, I will be happy. I will, I'll be content.
Okay, so that's it. Those are all of the questions. We did really well.
I think we did great, considering I haven't done this in like a year and a half.
I know. Look, she's back for one video.
One day only.
One video for me. What's funny was that when I was like asking her like, hey, you want to film some videos? And then I asked her like, did you bring a camera? And you're like, I'm not filming for my channel.
I'm like, I'll be on yours, but have you seen mine? It's dead, dude. Yeah. It's got spider webs on it. It's like cobwebs.
I noticed that, but I was still hoping that you'd come back.
Oh. No.
Yeah, but she's busy. She's busy.
That's
she's
my excuse.
Busy.
Yeah, when I'm back from winter break, we should do like a end of the year book tag. Wrap things up.
Oh, you want
come full circle with this?
Oh my god, yeah, I would love that. Is there any tag that's about that?
We're about to make one. Just like say less. Say less.
I'm like, oh man, effort.
I'll go with the questions, alright?
Okay, so that's basically it for today's video. Thank you for driving to my place.
Yeah, girl, anytime.
And eating Panera with me.
It was a good time.
And filming a video with me. Like I said, I have a new channel called Stationery with Trinh. If you like journaling and stationery content, I will be doing that on the new channel. So you're welcome to subscribe to that new channel. The links will be down in the description box below. And that's basically it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe for more videos. And I will see you guys later. Bye!
Bye.
You mean bread, butterflies?
Oh, yes, of course.